The drill press is a super important tool in any shop. This is my welding and metal shop, but I've got a few in my wood shop, I've got some in the machine shop, and obviously these ones here. Now, if you're lucky and you can find a really good one used, or you're really rich, you can wind up with a gearhead drill press, which to me is kind of one of the better versions that you can have, kind of short of a big radial drill if you've got like a big shop. But for a shop like mine where you're doing regular, normal fabricating work, a gearhead drill press is going to be awesome, especially for metalworking where you can really slow the speed down. And in this case, I've got a power feed down. Now, all that being said, as much as I like this tool, there's one thing about it that I can't stand, and today we're gonna fix it. And what we're gonna do applies to really any large drill press, and it's gonna make it easier to use, and you're probably gonna like it more. So the problem with this drill press is actually all the way back here, because the only way to raise and lower the table is to get to that crank. And this drill press is up against the wall, like in most people's shops, a drill press is. And in order for me to reach over and get to this crank, even with the table turned, it's really difficult. And this table and this drill press is really, really heavy. So to crank this actually takes a lot of effort. Now, it's obviously not the hardest thing in the world, and going down is much easier. But when you're working on different things in your drill press and you're changing out drill bits, the height of the drill bits is constantly changing. So if you can't easily raise and lower the table, it can make it really difficult to work on stuff in your drill press. Tighten down the table so this stops rotating. Okay. Now couple the location of that handle with this magnetic base vise that I made in a previous video, and it's actually really difficult to get this up and down. Now there are some solutions that people have made on YouTube where they put a servo motor to raise it up and down, but that didn't work on this machine because the table is so heavy. So today I'm going to show you how I bought another drill to make this drill better. Okay, so here's what we're going to use to modify this drill press and give essentially a power feed on the table. Now you might be wondering, why did I get such a big drill? And the reason is because this actually takes a tremendous amount of torque to get the table up and down. Even just with my vise on it, you can imagine if I had like a heavy piece of plate on there, it would be even harder. Now I tried a couple of other options with small motors, like I mentioned, right angle gear motors and different things. And I got all that information from a YouTube video from another maker, and I'll put a link to that down below, but they weren't strong enough. And I was already spending like kind of a lot of money on all these motors. Meanwhile, this right angle drill only cost $139 from Harbor Freight, and I actually have a tool out of it as well. So the idea here is going to be to build a bracket and an adapter that allows me to use this drill to power my table up and down, but also make it so that I can remove this drill and actually use this if I ever need it in my shop. And to me, I think that's a perfect solution for this problem, because spending $200 or $300 on motors and drivers and then making brackets only gives me something that works on this tool. Where if I make something that can use this drill, really costs me nothing, because for $139, I still have this drill, which I can take off the drill press and go and use somewhere if I need a super heavy duty right angle drill, because this thing is massive. So anyway, let's get into making the brackets and the adapters and get this thing set up so we can have this drill press even more functional. So what's nice about this is I can actually work on it with the table just turned, so it's a little easier to see. So here's what the goal is. We've got this crank handle here. Like I said, tough to move up and down. We're going to take this handle off to expose the shaft that's there, and then we're going to try to figure out a way to adapt this sucker onto there and hang it so that it's easy to get back off when I want to take it off, but is solid enough on there that it's going to function. We'll start by taking this handle off, which is just held by a set screw. So I've got about a 20 millimeter shaft, and I know that this drill has a 13 millimeter or half-inch capacity, so I'm going to need to adapt from 20 down to 13. I think we can do it out of this. All right, so over on the lathe, I've got this piece of 2-inch aluminum bar, and I'm just going to go ahead and do a turning operation to bring this down into a little stepped adapter. So I need to be at a little bit less than half-inch on the small side, and then I'm going to leave the large side pretty large so that there's plenty of meat for me to drill and tap a hole and then just put a screw in it so that I can clamp it onto the shaft in the drill. Now this is a pretty straightforward turning operation. I used a round insert cutter, and then I went ahead and drilled this up to the 20 millimeters or pretty close to 20 millimeters that I needed it to be in order to actually get this thing to clamp and hold on to the shaft over on the drill press. Now I'm just using, files and all that stuff. Now I forgot to film the drilling of the number 7 cross hole in this, but then you can see the tapping operation there, and then you can see I've got a little Allen head bolt that I put in there to get this thing to clamp. Now there isn't a keyway or anything on this shaft. There's just a flat spot that was ground in at the factory, so I used that to my advantage, and I used that screw to clamp down onto it, and you can see the drill grabs right on there really easily. Okay, so proof of concept works. Now I just got to find a way to keep the drill up here. So I think the simplest solution is always the best. And the simplest solution here looks like something like this. A bar that I'll bolt to the bottom of this that just keeps this from going down, right? Because what more do I really need? It can float up, and what more do I really need? So now that I see that this works with the clamp, I'm going to go ahead and attach this bar in a little more civilized of a manner. So I drilled 2 1/4-inch holes in it off camera. I grind the bottom of that a little bit, and then I chase through those holes with a number 7 drill to, again, use some 1/4-20 hardware and just tap right into the bottom of the casting of this. I don't expect this to weaken the casting at all. It's very thick and very robust, and these 2 screws are going to be more than enough to hold the drill from floating downward. Now, part of the whole deal here is that I want to be able to quickly be able to get the drill off if I need to use it. And I think that's a really important part of the success of this project, is that not only did I motorize the feed of this drill press, but I also have full access to this tool that I could use for many other things in my shop. I'm going to cut down the little excess of that bar with my little porta band and get it off the end and grind it so that everything is smooth. And you can pretty much see that this is the end result. I wound up with a really functional power feed up and down for this super heavy table. Yes, it's a little loud, and the drill is kind of crappy because you can see the way it wiggles and there's tons of run out, but this accomplished the goal for about 140 bucks. Got me exactly what I wanted, and I have a drill, and I think this is a great option for anybody who's looking to do this. You can buy all this stuff online. You can even buy these types of adapters that I made if you don't have a lathe, and I'll leave links to that all below. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video, and if you have any questions, leave them down below.